All right, episode 37 is about to start. I warn you. Okay, I don't know why it came on so strong. Episode 37 is about to start. Damn it! And what I need for you to know is that I'm very thankful for this week's guests. I'm thankful for Haley. I'm thankful for Dev, and I'm thankful for Kat. I'm thankful for Kurtis and Kishan too, but don't tell them. So this week, we had, as I said, Haley, Dev, and Kat. They are working on the animated series Chronic Ass-Khickers, and they took time out of their day to join us on What's Up, Dogs. So I am very grateful for that, joining the podcast, hanging out, listening to my, I don't want to say bullshit, because I wouldn't call it that. I've heard it described that way, but, just putting up with me in general, probably a chore. But they did it. They lasted the whole entire podcast episode. So listen to episode 37, which is upcoming. I'm sorry about the audio quality. Stuff happens, all right? I had a lot of people in the Discord call, and, you can't have the best audio quality every week, but you don't need to have the worst, and it wasn't the worst. It's listenable, and I've always said that about this podcast. There's one thing that I've always said: listenable. The greatest of all compliments. Not good, not bad, just listenable. All right. So once again, thanks to them. And here's episode 37 of a little thing that I like to call we're talking what up, dog.
We're talking what up, dog. Let's see what the UpDawgs getting to. Yeah, we're gonna do what up, dog. D&D.
Do you see how I see things, or am I pointing off screen to nobody?
Do I see how you see things?
You're pointing off screen to nobody.
Damn, okay.
It looks like you were pointing to your face.
No, who do you want to point at? Just call them out.
The girl by herself. What is her name?
Girl by herself.
My name's Kat.
And I find the food and
Kat?
feed them, but then I see little floaties everywhere.
Okay, alright, I heard.
So I'm like, how was it really
Cat with a K or cat with a C? This is very important for Kurtis.
Looks like a C.
Cat with a C.
Oh.
Yeah.
For Catherine.
I can read, Ben.
Arch rivals. Alright. No one's accusing you of not.
Yeah.
Trying to.
We call her Hat, though. Yeah.
Hat.
Why Hat?
So, back in the day, when I was in high school, I dyed my hair black. And when I was in college, there was a point where it was like half brown and then half black. And I always wore a hat, so it just looked like my hair was black, and you didn't see it. And I didn't realize how often I wore a hat until I've pointed it out one day, saying, "You're not wearing your hat." I'm like, "What do you mean? I never wear a hat." And then literally, she pulled up her phone, fucking every picture from that summer. There's a picture of me wearing a hat, so my name's Hat now.
I never like that when people point out something I've been doing for months after the fact.
I mean, it's a hat opposed to say
it's not like you had something stuck in your teeth for 3 months, I guess.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad, but I mean, other than a bucket hat.
I definitely was a hat person while growing my hair out. Didn't want anyone seeing the in-between phases. That was a mess.
That's exactly what it was. I had my hair was.
I mean, it was probably due to depression, but I didn't want people to see it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that, especially when you got dirty hair, just throw in a bun and just have a hat on.
Baby.
I'd say who just followed us, but it's just a bunch of H's, S's, and zeros. I don't even know. H0, it's like Haas 00312.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Is that your phrase today? Is that what you're going with?
Nah, I can't take credit for that. That's what's his name.
You don't even know his name, and you took it from him.
It's Doughboy.
Doughboy? Wait, why is that familiar?
Yes. This Might not be the podcast for Doughboy.
I know the Doughboys podcast, which is probably not the thing you're talking about. Where they,
Not at all.
Where they review like mostly fast food and just eat it. But
Yeah, no, that's not that.
all right. So yeah, I've had stomach problems all day because I didn't have a plan for this show, of course. And the less I play, Kurtis, shut up. The less I plan, the more. Could you please at least once let me talk?
Okay, you're talking to 3 Virgos with stomach issues.
Oh, and there it is,
Normal.
Kurtis, your favorite topic. See, Dev actually got Kurtis into horoscope for like a good 20, 30 minutes, maybe, possibly more.
It was a day.
Probably okay,
It
a
was
day. Because it was confirming all the things he thought of himself.
take it.
Like all the positive things, at least I should say.
Yeah.
And then as soon as there was a little bit of something that he said, "No,
Guess his
that's not
sign,
me," he decided not for me. Fuck this.
Before she does that, as soon as astrology did not go with my confirmation biases that I have about myself,
Exactly.
it was out the window.
Exactly.
Well, the way I like explain it is like your sun sign is probably gonna be like the least sign that you like.
Yeah.
Not his. Not his. His
Really?
is one of the strong ones that you will relate to. Yeah.
What the hell does that mean?
So like, well, if you think about it, like your sun sign is like the sun sign changes every month, and so I mean like that's a long span of time that that sign's around. The more I
Sun
feel like
represents your father.
yeah. I just meant like
More your father than you.
Keep therapizing him, please. We have an hour of therapizing Kurtis to.
No, we don't.
No, they don't. But by the end of it,
Everyone's stuck.
we need a guess for we're we're frozen for you guys. Is that what you're saying?
I better not
Yeah.
be frozen. I'm paying for 400
I mean, as
megabytes.
long as it's working.
No, everything's working for me
I
except
mean, honestly,
you
Ben,
guys
as long
freeze
as it's working for
occasionally,
you,
Well,
I'm not worried about
Haley,
it.
it's all of this shit up here.
Because I don't stop working.
so.
Yeah, so it ain't
Close out
us.
your fucking tabs, bro.
I've been doing
You can
stuff.
save those tabs.
Yeah.
Look, don't I get
No,
it.
I'm closing them out. Otherwise, I'm gonna get yelled at.
I get it.
Oh, look, they're moving now.
I used to be a 100 tab guy.
I don't have anxiety, but
okay.
that induces anxiety for me.
What? A lot of tabs. What about
Having multiple tabs.
what about unread emails? How you do with those?
Same here.
Dude, I can ignore an unread. Unless I have like direct business with them, I can ignore an unread email
No.
like nothing.
I literally check my emails 18 times a day.
Do you at least
How you check to see how many unread emails you have?
the number that show? Wait, do you have an
I don't have
iPhone?
any unread emails.
I have 1,000 right now that are unread,
Oh, guys.
Yeah, Gmail.
and it's mostly bullshit.
It's called self
Gmail.
care.
Not.
You gotta read those emails or
Mostly.
just delete them all. Honestly, that's really the thing.
That's
to do.
usually what I do.
That's what I'm saying, or at least mark all as read, you know?
That's
Yeah.
true. I didn't even think about that.
No, I gotta.
Nah, I don't even do that.
Do you save everything you have though, just in case that Chipotle order from 10 years ago is gonna like come back to haunt you and you need a receipt?
Screenshots I
Never.
kind of do, but not really receipts.
Okay, I see.
Plus,
Ben, can I tell you something?
You can, but okay. What is it?
I just thought you have a really good podcast voice.
That's very unexpected, to be honest.
That's like, you know what? That's almost about as close. Damn, I don't know how to say it.
Come on,
Never
Curtis.
mind, forget I
No,
was even
no.
about to say
Use your
something.
say something nice about me too. Like I
I think that's what it is. It's the block. I just can't get it out.
you can't you can't say
I was about
something
to say
nice
something nice
about
about
me.
you, and it just stopped. It was like,
Fuck out of here. God damn it, Kishan. You so ruined this. Not
How
that,
could Sean ruin it?
because now I gotta put 5 people in my beautiful overlay. Anyway, it's not here what we're here to talk about. What are we here to talk about? Oh, no. I will
Everything
say.
and nothing.
What's the topic?
Well, I just,
Nothing.
we start with a little general banter. We wax. We're vaxxed and waxing. You know what I'm talking about? And you just, you sort of get into it that way.
Oh, I like that.
And then we sort of,
Waxed and waxed.
exactly. We're waxing, we're vaxing.
Liddy.
I don't know.
Kishan
What's
is
good,
here.
Toph?
But
The voice of reason is here. I'm playing.
really, the only thing that I had on I usually have like a list of notes. And one of the things I had was both of them involve Haley and none of the rest of you. Because I just watched that documentary because you tweeted it out of the.
Oh, thank you.
I watched it today. It was Behind the Uniform. A look inside the Cincinnati Fire Department.
Yeah.
Was that a school thing or was that like? But I'm sure you got to choose what you got to do.
No.
But like, okay.
No, it actually wasn't. Do you like? Are we actually recording right now?
Yeah. No, yeah. Cold start. We just.
Oh, okay.
I
Shit.
just went
Cool.
for it.
That's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. So, no, it wasn't a part of a school project, but my dad has been a firefighter since I was like 4.
Okay.
And when I was like 16 or 17, like I've always wanted to get into film and like writing and whatnot. And my mom suggested one time to me, she was like, you should film a documentary maybe. Like you could go on ride-alongs. Like you just have to fill out like this paperwork and, you have to be 18 and stuff. So I was like, yeah, maybe. And then, a couple years passed and I was right after my first year of freshman college at OU. And I met some people. They were really good friends of mine. And I asked them, I was like, would you guys be interested in it? And they were like, hell yeah. So they came down to Cincinnati. We got all the paperwork taken care of. We spent 3 days at firehouses for 12 hours each. One of the days we had like 2 teams, one at 2 different firehouses. And we just kind of won for it. I didn't really know what we were going to get. And the problem with just trying to plan something like that out is that they don't know what's going to happen that day. Like we don't know what kind of issue's going to happen.
I mean, you couldn't quick do some arson just to get the ball rolling, or you're not into that. No.
That one is so.
That was my backup plan.
Right. So it
That
was
was my
like
backup plan if we didn't like see any fires.
so it was like 4 or
You
5.
should have hired some kids to make
But-
Drano bombs.
Now, Kurtis, this is not that kind of show.
Just throw them around.
Oh
Get
my
shit
Be
started.
interesting.
Or is it that kind of show? I don't really know.
Eh.
So it was like your thing. I mean,
So,
who says no to
yeah.
doing something for firemen? Because, you ask people, hey, you want to do this thing on firemen? Who can say something bad about them? So, I mean, really, who's going to say no to that, to helping you out?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
They ain't the cops.
But I mean, it was kind of like I wanted to do it, so it was like I just had to get approval. And it went really well. They were like, I kind of just gave them the option. I was like, you can talk to me, or you can just stay, like, just say, hey, I don't want to be in anything. Go do whatever you want. I won't follow you or anything. But fortunately, there was a lot of people that were like all about, being there and stuff, and talking to me. And we saw 3 fires in those 3 days. And I would say the most exciting thing for me was being able to ride in a fire truck,
Right.
speeding towards a fire. And that was like, we got there at like 10 or 10:30, and it was like 12:30 when this happened. So I was just like, holy shit.
It's really happening.
It was
fun and just act like you're going it.
Yeah, and that was and you, Ben, you said you watched it today.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the first like 20 minutes of the episode was that first fire. And it was really cool. So this summer I'm working on part 2.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that.
I was going to ask if there was a
I've gone
topic
to-
in there that you
Yeah.
wanted to cover more that you just didn't get to.
Well, I wouldn't say that, because my first one, I just kind of wanted to, I knew there were some like small
It's like
misconceptions.
an introduction.
Yeah, and I think that firefighting is really interesting, and as I didn't really know a lot of kids growing up that had all like firefighter parents.
Yeah.
So I told a lot of people like I just tell them about how it works, and sometimes they don't necessarily get holidays off. Like it's 24 on, 48 hours off. So it's like every couple years, Christmas, my dad's day would fall on Christmas, and we'd celebrate Christmas a day early.
Right.
But yeah, it's just always been a part of my life. So I just kind of wanted to show like kind of the stuff that they do and just how like particular that they are. and now doing part 2, which is where they have a new training class that's going through recruit school, which is about 6 months. I have been going there at least a couple times a week and filming them. It's really, really interesting. It reminds me a little bit of drill school, at least from what you see in the movies. Not as bad, but
That's kind of like drill school. I mean,
yeah, they call it drill school.
I mean, when you say drill
for the
school,
fire
what do you
department.
mean? I guess I don't really know.
Boot camp.
like the United States military type drill school.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're very specific. They have them line up. They like the first day they are pretty much like telling them, like, they gave them specific instructions that they had to follow where they shouldn't have asked any questions whatsoever. And you know, the captain got a couple emails or whatever, and they're like we gave you these specific instructions, and the reason for that is that the fine details are what save lives. You know, you make one misstep, like that's your life, that's your partner's life, that's someone, you know, civilian's life. So they really drill it into their brains. And like, actually the Cincinnati Fire Department is the #1 fire department in the nation, and it is the first professionally paid fire department. So
Oh yeah, I read the
kinda
comments.
just think
Don't worry,
there's-
I saw everybody in there. The Boston
yeah,
people
so-
really want to start a fight. They
Don't even get so. Yeah. So for people who don't know, Boston had the first fire department, but they were volunteers. And way back when, volunteers would be called out to the fires, and whoever, like, it'd be different companies or whatever, and whatever company put out the fire was the one that got paid. So they were always fighting to get there, and like,
God, that's a capitalistic nightmare.
so, and that was happening everywhere, and they'd fight, and you know, things weren't getting done, things were burning down. You know, they decided to start paying them, since Cincinnati was the first professionally paid. So I always make sure to emphasize professionally paid.
but
Yeah, but yeah, I guess you said like my whole like thing. I guess it's, you know, if they are the best fire department in the nation, first professionally paid, like let's see why. Let's talk to some of these people.
I don't know. Those Boston guys are pretty convincing. I mean, they leave their comment and they leave, and then they dislike it 35 times, and then they go, and it's or I will. The other
say-
comment was misspelled chief. Yeah.
I'm afraid I didn't do the editing, so unfortunately I can't hold on to that one.
I figured.
So yeah, I don't know if you had any. I feel like I explained pretty good much of it, but I actually haven't talked about it except for like word of mouth. So I guess this is me being like, hey, I'm doing part 2.
Nice.
Official announcement on
Wait.
What's Up, Dog.
Where can you see part 1?
Part 1's on YouTube, which I wanted to point out is
Yeah, so the
hilariously
first one
right next
is on
to
YouTube.
another video. So it goes from the last video before the documentary was a parody that you did do for class of going up on a Tuesday, which is still there. It's
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
instead of club going up on a Tuesday,
Oh,
it's
that's so embarrassing.
blood pressure going up on a Tuesday. And I don't know if it was
Yes,
for
it is.
anatomy or what. It was very technical terms in there.
What was that for?
Anatomy? You wouldn't have taken
Oh
anatomy.
no, fuck, I wouldn't have taken
I don't know what
anatomy.
nerds you
She has a screenwriting degree.
collected to make this
What did I do
video,
that for?
but
It's so embarrassing.
Just for
Do you have to
shits
make a
and
music video
giggles.
for class?
Yes, I made a music video.
Oh my god, I gotta watch that and use that as blackmail. It's public though. You're
Yeah.
blackmailing yourself, bitch.
don't worry, it's up there.
I'm surprised none of the dudes from Boston have commented under it yet.
No, I looked too. I watched over and
Way
over.
harder on a Tuesday in Boston.
We did it first. We actually
Cool,
the
so
club
all
I don't even know what class it was.
the whole week went up on a Tuesday.
I don't
Exactly.
even know what fucking class it was.
Fucking going up over here.
But thank you. I complimented you earlier, Ben, and then you just throw me under the bus.
Gemini.
What? Okay, there it goes again.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck you.
I'm not. This is no way to treat a gentleman. I mean,
Hey, I take back my compliment.
boil
A
it.
Gemini?
Okay, that's. I almost ended the stream right there. That's about enough.
Oh yeah, we're talking what up, dog?
It was a good fictional movie.
Why did you yell at Tim McGraw?
So I used to work at this concert venue in Cincinnati called Riverbend, and I would
Okay.
check tickets, do whatever shit. And one day there was this dude just running around and just kind of running between like people bringing in set pieces
Yeah,
and shit.
not
And I was all
okay.
pissed off because I was hot. So I was like, "Hey, asshole, slow down!" And he like stopped, and like he like glasses and looked at me, and then just kind of started jogging away. And my boss is like, "You know who you just yelled at?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "That's Tim McGraw." And I'm like,
And but like
I didn't lose my job though.
I think Tim McGraw is the same country singer that like Tom Segura makes fun of because he's weird as shit. So I was just curious to see what that interaction was.
It was just very quick interaction. He listened to me, so I mean,
Because you called him an asshole.
was he performing that day or was he just there?
he was.
Oh.
Yeah, he was performing that day. He was just
Maybe
getting a
he
little
should have
exercise.
been. Yeah, maybe he should have been running around. I don't know. I'm not gonna tell the man what
It's
to
just
do
like
for his
these
set.
people are bringing in your big ass fucking speakers and shit, so you could perform fucking 5 songs about like dirt roads, and like you're not gonna respect them enough to fucking
Well, and Love
slow your
Lost, of
pace.
course.
Yeah.
Trucks
Jesus.
of
I don't
old,
know any of his songs. So.
but
Get him and Kenny Chesney confused.
look, you could say anything. I'm from an area where country's supposed to be a thing, and I don't know shit. All I know is like Johnny Cash is a thing. I wouldn't call him necessarily. He's kind of folky, I guess. I don't know, but
You know what, Ben? I think you got your countryside suppressed. I for real think you just like stuck it in the box in the corner of your brain somewhere, just locked it away with a chain around it. But it's there somewhere.
I mean, has it
Probably
ever?
put on Red Solo Cup and you just see him like twitching or something.
No, no.
Yeah.
Have you ever? I mean, have you, Kishan and Kurtis? Have you ever seen any of that come out of me though? I mean,
No, that's what I'm saying. You got it locked away somewhere real deep, but it's there.
No,
Do I even
was just
speak
about to
like
say,
him?
every time we hang out with our country friends like Sean and Zach, you love their music selection. Love it.
False.
Yes, you do.
Nah, that's kind of true.
I don't need this on the internet.
Where's
Yeah,
that?
sure you don't.
Explain yourself when Wagon Wheel
I
was
like
big.
Brooks
I
and Dunn.
hated Wagon
I'll
Wheel. What are
proudly
you
say it.
talking
None
about?
isn't bad. I do like.
You loved it, Ben. We all say it
I was
together.
on Team Curtis. Turn that shit
Wagon
off.
Wheel's a good song. You don't have to pretend to be cool right now.
No, Curtis almost got in a fight over Wagon Wheel being played. Or no,
Yeah,
maybe it was
I can't even do it no more,
It
that's
was
right.
it was Parking Lot Party. My bad.
I don't remember what song it was, but they played that
I
motherfucker
don't
like
even know what
The
that is.
Parking Lot
4 times an
Party.
hour.
It was that for like
Isn't it a party that happens in a parking lot?
exactly
No, it's a song.
over in a
Oh.
Kroger.
I mean,
every
yes, but
15
we were
minutes.
talking about a song.
The song is about that though. She's not wrong. Technically,
Yeah.
I know, but she was like, "You don't know what a parking lot party is."
yeah, get it
I mean,
together.
shit, I don't know what a parking lot party is.
Well,
Is it a
I
fair?
didn't grow up hanging out in
No, this is
parking
perfect.
lots.
Haley, please
Exactly.
describe to Curtis what a parking lot party is. You seem to be an expert on these things.
Do you know what a parking lot party? Have you ever been like? Have you ever actually hung out in a parking lot?
No.
See, she's not true to the culture.
Yeah, no, I can't hang around in no parking lots because every parking lot I hang out in, the cops run us out of it for whatever reason.
That's true,
That's what I'm saying. Is it like
If
a
you grow
fair? Is it a
up
county
in a
fair?
hometown,
for whatever
What about,
reason.
no, like a grade school festival, you know what I mean? Where they have all the tents and the rides and stuff. That's a party.
you had
walk-
rides.
That's
at
not
your
the
grade
parking
school
lot party they
festivals?
talking about in the song.
It's a walkathon, Haley.
No, that is not the parking lot
Oh my
party they're
God.
talking about.
I know.
I'm thinking of an ice cream social.
Just like a 5K.
Yeah,
No, it's when a
a
bunch
party.
of teenagers group their cars together and like hang out in a parking
people
lot.
used to do that at Walmart.
How about
The
that Kroger?
senior
was
class 2
Kroger
years
in my
before me did
hometown.
that for their senior
Kroger.
prank.
Kroger.
Their
I'm trying to
prank
figure out
was
what
to
the
have
hell
a
that
party
is.
in the parking lot.
Yeah, they took everyone's car, rearranged it,
Oh.
did a circle, had a big old party in the center.
That's not a
Wait, that was
prank.
That's
your
weak
school's
shit.
like prank?
That's
Yeah.
weak shit.
That is exactly.
Oh no,
what
they were
my
strict
did
with
too.
us. You had to get it approved. You had to get
Same
the
here.
prank
We did too.
approved.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm sorry, we had to get the party approved, but they gave us an inch and we took 10 miles.
Ha.
My school they did the same thing. I suggest because I was like, they gathered our whole class together and we were kind of like talking about what we wanted to do, And I suggested we hire a mariachi band to follow our principal around all day.
Oh, hell yeah.
I thought that would be funny. But they're like, no, we're going to make a big soccer field in the parking lot with our cars and play soccer. I'm like,
Stupid.
okay.
Dent the hell out of the cars.
All right.
I think now they would just put a circle around the parking lot and do the milk crate challenge. That whole thing where they're doing the pyramids right now
shit.
of milk crates.
What?
That shit is
What is
great.
the milk crate challenge?
So
Let's do it.
You stack
Exactly
up.
what it
Oh,
sounds
didn't
like.
the guy do
Wait,
that,
wait.
Okay. So yeah, I may have revealed already too much. Did you guys already know what the
No.
milk crate challenge was? Or what would you guess it would be? A milk crate challenge? You have a guess.
You like
I'm guessing people are
Sounds
stacking
mean.
milk crates
Kind of
and
boring.
doing something where they're getting hurt physically.
Okay, she's close enough.
Absolutely,
All right, so
they
they're
are getting
walking
hurt.
over top of them.
Well,
They're stacking them like a pyramid, and it gets up to like I don't know.
6.
I don't know. I've never seen it in
5?
person. Maybe 7 or 8. No, dude, that's weak
It's
rookie
like
numbers
5
now,
or
dude. They're up to
6.
like 8 or
I'm
9.
8 or 9.
No, they're up to like 8 or 9 in the
Sir.
center now. 8 or 9 crates high.
sounds like a
And
jackass
then
bit.
Pretty
it
much.
is pretty
I
much.
think it
It's just a free jackass bit. To
But
be honest,
the only 2
TikTok,
people
like,
I've seen do it successfully was one guy. The first guy I saw do it was rolling a blunt the whole time, and he finished the blunt by
Yo.
the end.
Yeah.
Which is, and he's wearing Jordan 3s, which is what the other guy I saw
goat.
do it was doing. And then one lady did it in heels, so I mean she upped the ante again.
the other goat. I got to up the ante even more. My homie John Swindle did it in church clothes.
Why is that
Oh
more?
my god.
I'm just saying, it just sounds sweet. He did it in church clothes.
He was just trying to
so-
get closer to God, so that means he's better than me.
Boy, because he would have failed funny. That's a first class ticket.
God said, "Get down
I'm
from
pretty
there."
sure I saw a
Oh,
guy
That's funny as
doing
fuck.
I'm pretty sure I saw a guy doing the challenge while rolling a blunt. And I was like, that's impressive. And that was the first
Yeah,
video
that's
I
the
saw,
logo.
and that's where my stand is.
That should be
Yeah,
the
that
new
was
Jordan's
the
logo.
now.
I can't even do that sitting down. I can't do that anyway.
So, God, it's hard to think
Oh.
right now. It's like
I mean, you
84
probably could
in my apartment.
sit down.
Why are you living like that?
So it's not on purpose. It was 83 last night, and it was like 70 outside. So I opened a window. None of the air would leave. Like none of the hot air would leave. It wouldn't go out. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So I turned the air on.
You gotta.
The AC on. Please hold your turn, Kurtis. I turned the AC on, and it went up a degree. So I was like, all right, this isn't fucking working. So now give me your mansplain. All right, go ahead with your. Go
Did
ahead
you
before
just
get
open one window?
Look, I know how the circulation works. Like, I opened all the windows at one point.
roll
Still,
the ties.
nothing happened.
Nothing helped.
I
No,
actually learned about venting in
just
drill school.
stagnant
Do you have
air.
a box fan?
Yeah, but you know, my
Damn.
wife was using it. She was in bed, and I don't want to
Turn
like.
it backwards.
Yeah, I know. I went to engineering school. I
Turn it
probably should know how
backwards
to
and
do
have it
shit.
suck
But
the air out of your house and blow it outside.
yeah,
If you got a patio
try
too,
this?
don't you got a patio? Just
I
open that
do
back door
not
up.
have a patio. I'm just
Damn.
stuck on the second floor. I'm isolated up here with this stagnant air that's like 85 degrees at this point. I got my hair down
Damn.
for some goddamn reason. So you
So
know,
your AC doesn't work? Did you say that already?
that's basically the end of the story. Yeah, thanks. Pool of water underneath the AC. So you know, you call it in, they come in, say, "Oh, that you're right. There is water there," and then they don't do anything about it.
You need to go buy some
You know-
fans, young man.
That was an interesting turn.
Thank you.
I'd almost prefer them not doing anything till Jerry rigging it to only do one thing.
What? Excuse me.
When that happened to me, they
What?
came over and fixed my AC, and
What?
it was good. When my AC went out,
Right.
my apartment people came over and fixed my AC,
Correct.
but it only blew out cold air at that point. And then when wintertime came, they had to come do it again to make it blow out heat, and they basically restricted the AC and let the heat function work,
Oh, what?
which I think is pretty shitty. Yeah, I know, right?
That seems okay.
So you just have to call them every time you decide you want to change it.
Nah, that was
The
a
spring
year
must
ago. It's
suck.
been fixed since, so I'm good.
Oh, okay.
But Kishan, you send me a lot of videos on Instagram. Do you love those videos where you make anything into a knife?
Yeah, I've watched a couple of those.
Can you like acknowledge that they're the dumbest fucking thing in the world, but you can't stop looking at them? Or like I saw a guy
I
make
wouldn't
a
say
piece of
that.
steak into a steak knife. Like, is that something you would watch?
Wait, what? Nah, you go way deeper than I do.
What do you,
What are you talking about?
Literally-
Steak?
Literally, Google turns into a knife, and you will get stuff like turns steak into a steak knife, turns smoke into a knife. Have we gone too far with our ability to make things into knives? Is basically what I'm getting at.
Have you seen that video?
No,
of
never.
The person who like takes a banana and they like put like a live crawdad in it,
No.
and then they put ramen and they try to make it look like there was never a hole in the banana.
Wait, excuse me?
Yeah. I saw something like that.
I'm sorry. Explain that one more
I'm
time.
gonna call this podcast Excuse
Someone
Me.
someone took a banana,
Okay.
they, like cut a little hole, like a little box in it.
Yes.
And then inside the banana, they put a live crawdad. Over it, they put some ramen, and then they like polished it so it looks smooth like the banana skin,
Oh,
and then
okay.
they just painted it yellow.
Okay.
Oh, it's fucked up.
And why?
Because it's fucked up.
It's animal cruelty.
I thought there was
Goddamn.
like
In the
a
crafts video.
point
not.
like they bite into it. Did you see that like a football player who was a kicker, he was eating the banana whole with the peel on it and everything?
I heard about it.
You
Got
heard
hit too many
you
times.
heard about it.
Like the stem?
Yeah.
And all.
No, like he had like the banana, he like waited till it got brown so he could like bite through it. Like,
He ate it like an apple.
Yeah, he just bit into it. Just ate it.
What about the stem?
What do you mean this? Well, no, he didn't eat the
Man.
stem.
Like
Wait,
the
well,
little-
maybe he ate the stem. Shit, I didn't watch that
The
far.
brown part.
I mean, he bit into the
At
brown
that point, you
part.
might as well eat the stem.
No, don't eat the. That'd be too crunchy. There's no way that gets soft.
I
You
can
chew on
understand
it
his
like
logic because
bubble
that's
gum.
all sugar, but
Excuse me.
nah.
Hey man,
Are you okay, Ben?
I'm
No.
sorry, but
I'm not okay.
what is happening?
Dude ate a whole banana.
I mean, I understand that, but I just
Dude ate a
this is
whole.
just
Ben
Listen,
seems like he's
Whole ass
malfunctioning.
fucking banana.
I'm not, dude. I'm sweating my balls off. Did you see? I'm trying to connect with you. I'm trying to find the Louis C.K. show that happened. If you heard about that, if you heard about, or do you?
One of my friends
Oh no, he didn't.
is going to that.
Can you tell them not to? Like, why go to that?
No, I told him to go because I want to hear about the set.
Well, somebody already wrote an article about the set. They already went to it.
Yeah, but I don't know them. Like I know my friend who's about to go see it. You know, I know him.
But your friend might not.
I'm not gonna go see it.
give a shit about what he did in his past. So why? Like,
I mean, no, we've already had that talk, and he doesn't.
all right. Well then.
So he's been a fan. It's fair for him to want to go see that. So
I don't know. How do you be a
I
fan
want him
of
to tell
that?
me what it's like.
All right. I mean, I can tell you what it's like.
is-
I mean-
he's not going to apologize. He's just going to keep making weird sex jokes about like child pornography, and then he's going to, sell out shows. Like, that's
Yeah,
Who?
he already is
Who?
selling out shows and
Louis
shit.
C.K.?
Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I know. don't
the
know.
unified. Oh.
Hold on.
What's this? What did he do?
What did he do? Okay, so what he did
I know he's a piece of shit.
was not only he enjoys doing masturbatory acts in front of women, and he would
Oh.
often proposition this at work environments, and like sometimes he would just do it in front of these women, whether it was in his trailer or whatever. He did it over the phone with somebody without asking, and they heard him doing it over the phone, and he confirmed all this. He said all this happened. So then he got taken off of like everything, stopped getting hired on stuff, and now he's doing a tour where he's performing in front of a large lit up sign that says sorry on it, even though he's obviously not sorry, and none of the people in the crowd think he should be sorry, so they love it. They eat the shit up because they're like, because he's, I don't know, because he's fighting this cancel culture or something. I'm not really sure what the message there is, but basically,
Pretty much hit it right on the head.
yeah, it's the gist of what's going down.
I wasn't. Yeah, I knew he did something fucked up, but I wasn't too sure what his offense.
Well, the specific thing that got him really canceled was
Canceled.
he asked a group of women if he canceled. He asked a group of people if he could do it in front of them, and I'm kind of shaky on whether or not all of them said yes, or some of them said yes and some of them said no. Really don't know that part, but he proceeded to do it in front of a group of people, and that got him canceled.
And either way, don't ask that at work. I guess is another
Yeah, I guess.
part of that. Don't make your work environment weird as somebody who's seen as possibly an established comedian.
Let me be clear, because I said yeah, I guess. Yes, exactly that.
Yeah.
But
Commit
I
to
don't
that.
know much about the situation other than that, so that's as far as I'll go.
Are you breaking things down too?
Oh yeah, we're talking what up, dog?
So what else you got going on?
What else I got going on? I guess I'm getting mad at people on Facebook and actually commenting on things. I'm at that point in the pandemic.
Damn.
Now?
Hey, man.
Dude, I've been doing that for like 4 or 5 years, unfortunately.
It took a bit for me.
I've just stopped. I had to stop.
I don't even give a shit anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to argue with it.
I usually don't.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. I wasn't commenting, but people would comment on mine, and then I would get pissed off
And comment back.
and then I get in a fight. But then, since in recent times, I realized that I've deleted everyone at this point, so I don't get any of those anymore.
I keep them around because I realized
And that's probably why I stopped.
it was less fun of a. I like going through comment sections. I don't always comment. I usually just look because I want to see what's going on, and that's probably messed up to like look at like doom scrolling, I think you would call it, where you're just like scrolling through garbage all day and just looking at it. But it doesn't usually elicit a reaction out of me. You don't, like Kurtis, like you never feel compelled to just like
Really?
just like one thing.
Nah.
There's not one thing in the world that you just be like, all right, man.
I read what they say, and I judge them. I judge them as harshly as I can, and I keep scrolling. It brings me joy to do that. I'm gonna be honest.
Kat, can you guess his sign yet?
Huh?
Can you guess his sign yet?
Capricorn?
Capricorn?
What the fuck?
That's funny. That's good.
Am I right? Was that it?
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Nailed him.
We silently
Bullshit.
judge. Except me. I'm a loudmouth, but
Nah, if you next to me, you say some stupid shit, I'm gonna tell you it's stupid. I'm gonna let you know it's stupid.
yeah.
But
it's
if it's on
what the
Facebook,
fuck, man, shut up.
yeah. If it's on Facebook, I'm not gonna bother myself. First of all, I don't even got the Facebook app. I go on the internet and then I get on Facebook.
That's
So
exactly
trying to
what I
even
do.
find where
Me
I post
too.
shit at is
Me
difficult
too.
in the first place. So it's like not even worth it.
It's like an extra step to get to it, though, and it's like the step you don't want to take.
Yeah.
And it helps prevent me from getting on there because I just get pissed off every time I get on there. So it's like if I don't download the app, I won't get on there and argue with anyone because I'll be like, this takes too much time.
I mean, I'm still gonna
And then
scroll
on top
through
of
it
that-
anyway. Might as well say something once in a while, you know. Just
Nah, fuck
I
that.
get
I just
bored
wanna
every
judge
now
you.
and then. You know, you just want to have a little.
I don't
Nah,
get bored
fam.
enough for Facebook, honestly. Like,
No.
anytime I post
honestly-
anything, my aunt will be in the comments, be like, love you!
So
Exactly. And I spend most of my time on Twitter. So I know
Exactly.
for a fact if any
Yeah.
of them dumbasses people come to Twitter and try to say that stupid shit, like it ain't gonna fly. So I just go to Facebook and I look at it like a zoo. I'm just like, oh, this is what people are thinking for real.
like a
And
zoo.
then I just pop back on Twitter with the rest of us.
How are you supposed to
I
know
have deleted a lot of people.
what everyone's up to? It looks like I would regret deleting people because it was the people that I didn't really want to.
Why?
I also realized that I just don't care about.
It's so entertaining.
What's going
to
on?
I don't care
look
what those
through
people
for
are
the most
doing.
part. You don't have any anti-vaxxers on your
Is it bad
timeline?
that 90% of my family?
Oh, dude, what?
I'm friends with a girl I used to go to high school with, who like gets pregnant and like she'll post like
Gets pregnant.
very, very, very like gory details about the pregnancy, and it's just like, ugh. So like one time she like posted like her placenta and
Oh,
like
Okay.
other stuff, and I was like, ugh.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Placenta on the. Okay, do
Aren't there
it.
special groups for that where she doesn't have to
Right.
expose it to the public?
Do it for the gram.
She
What?
likes to just
Ew,
let
God, no,
everyone
please. Instagram won't even let, like,
You can't even see like actual shit.
I mean,
on it.
Instagram.
you can't see nipples on
No, yeah, I was
Insta-
gonna say they'll ban people for, or
Yeah,
not
it's
ban,
ban
suspend
nipples.
accounts for like nipples under the clothes, like if they think they're too prominent. So, yeah, no, Instagram. I don't know. They might
Yeah.
not.
What's Michael Chiklis supposed to do?
Who?
Dude that plays he played the thing, or you know, the big rock dude from Fantastic Four?
The Thing.
Oh yeah, the thing.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay. I thought it was The Thing. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if it was Rockman for some
Wait,
reason.
what's his name?
Michael Chiklis.
I don't know, but he's the bald head dude that's been in a bunch of stuff on FX.
Bald head dude, bunch of stuff on FX. Nipples out, got it.
I'll look on that.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Michael
We gotta do some sheets,
Chiklis.
Excel sheets tonight.
She said that.
Who?
You just talked
yeah.
over it.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, I was talking to her. I'm sorry if you guys were picking up on that.
Oh yeah, we pick
So we
every
have a
side
problem
conversation you have is a
where
full
we can't
conversation for
focus.
us.
It's okay. Every time we're together, somehow business comes into the conversation and we can't stop ourselves. So we're not really fun to hang out with sometimes
I mean, no,
because we don't stop.
you can get into that then. Like, what are you going on about? What business is entering the fray? What is?
Oh, well, we can't talk about that right now,
okay.
but we will have a release date,
Interesting.
and you guys
Why
can
can't
look
we talk
out.
about it?
We can't talk about it. We can't talk about it right
You
now.
can talk around it. You know, you talk
Why can't we talk about it?
because we have a release.
Nah, it's cool. Let them cook. Just let them keep it quiet.
I mean, you guys
Keep it under wraps.
recorded your pilot a while
But
back.
we can talk about some of the stuff we have planned on doing.
Okay.
We just have like some products coming up, and like we are working on our animation for our trailer right now. So like all of that shit costs money, and
True. So,
But yeah, we've just been doing a lot of writing and stuff.
how did that start though? Like, what point did you say, I did the fire documentary. All right, we got the firemen handled for now, part 1 at least. And then you said, I want to do a comedy, animated comedy series with my friends. Like, whose idea was it? Who brought it up first? Like, what was that about?
Well, so I will say none of it was actually like, so I did the documentary the summer after my freshman year of college, the first one, came out a few years later. And then after I graduated, I actually lived in LA for 6 months because it was my dream. I set myself to it. I was going to live in LA.
we all didn't meet until Haley's senior year of college, right?
Okay.
Or maybe junior year.
Very beginning and very beginning of senior year, end of junior year.
And we all worked together
no,
at
it
the
was-
same
it was
place
like-
at OU.
Yeah.
And I worked with her. We had our other friend Alexis, who I met Dev through. So it was just kind of, we were really close, and we grew close over like the year and stuff. And I hung out with her my very last night that I was there. And then I lived in LA for 6 months. They were still back in college. When I moved back home, I was absolutely in an emotional spiral. Like, I was really upset. I never pictured myself ever leaving, especially the way that I did. So, while I didn't really have a job, I was getting settled in, kind of like taking some time for mentally. I visited them a couple times in Athens. And I think it was like the second time I visited them. We all got really drunk, naturally.
True.
We were just hanging out. And I made them watch this show called She-Ra, The Princesses of Power.
Yeah. I know about that
Which
She-Ra.
I have tattooed on my calf. And it was like the next day I was driving home, and I had this weird idea where I was just like, what if it was like pretty much like that, but adult version and a bunch of stoners.
I read a little bit, I read that whole thing that you sent, but it felt very much like there's not a lot of areas where there's just the group of girls who don't, I don't know, like Pineapple Express exists, and like other stuff in that nature that's kind of just like dudes doing shit and they end up doing the right thing even though they're just fucking around the whole time. And like, I don't know, there's a lot of movies with guys like that, but I can't really name any where it's like main characters are women.
Thank you. That is exactly what we thought.
But I don't know, if people, I guess if they wanted to, could say Broad City, but I don't know, it's a little different. But also,
didn't they bring Hillary Clinton on the
stoner
show?
comedy for college-aged women? You know what I mean? Like, there's only really high
because
school, and then like when you're like a spinster. You know what I mean? Like there's either like that dynamic or that, and it's just like
There's
there's no
Euphoria or there's Grey's Anatomy. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of like, you know, stuff for college girls that they can really be like, yeah, other college girls are fuck shits too.
Right.
You know, we would have to relate to Seth Rogen.
No, you have
you know
to
what I
be-
mean? Like, and I love him.
You have to be girl boss 100% of the time. There's no time to be. You can't fuck around. Basically, there's never. That's never represented. But I did get that from what I read.
But one thing that, yes, it is, you look at it, and one thing that I think is really important about like media and TV shows, as I did have a screenwriting and producing degree that I graduated with, and I like looking at the different layers of film.
Yeah.
And what I like about how we've written it is that you can watch it, you can put it on like you would put on Rick and Morty, you have it on with background noise, you think it's funny, you think it's entertaining, whatever, great. But then you can also watch it, actually like pay attention to it and like really like look at the things. And like the more you watch stuff, the more you see things, you know?
Yeah, we put a lot of work into the social context and like the different things that specifically happen to certain demographics of people based on institutions that can be harmful. And like, you don't have to even pay attention to that stuff to watch the show, but it's there if you're that kind of person.
It did seem very, like, I guess, would it be more fantasy than Rick and Morty? Because Rick and Morty, I guess we'd call it sci-fi, but this would be more like a fantasy type.
I consider it like a fantasy action comedy.
Okay. Any other commas
little bit of
/
everything.
adjective? You can keep at it.
kind of sci-fi, but not really. Like
There's
it just
another?
has like
I mean, it's not really
Like a- like a
scientifically
spi-
based
like a little
though. Like, it's unless you count social science.
Our pilot
Social
did
science fiction.
win
I like that.
semifinalist. We were semifinalists for a horror film festival, so you can also consider us horror.
Horror.
I wouldn't say I would say only a handful
Got
of
it.
episodes are horror.
Yes, but it still can fall under the genre.
Um,
And also borderline anime porn.
Okay.
But that's a whole another thing.
I mean,
I would not say that at
look,
all.
no, okay,
I
so
would not say
the
that
thing
at all.
is,
Just,
if
I'm
it
kidding.
if it takes off, the way you know you've made it is people start drawing porn of it. Is essentially how you know, like,
Yeah.
damn, we
Yeah.
made it. When people start sending you
So can you
cringy as fuck
jumpstart that by
shit,
just doing it yourself?
I guess you could, because that honestly, it's kind of like how it's weird for animation that works, because it's like how music, where the strippers make the music popular. It's in that vein, but not exactly, because a lot of that drawn stuff is pretty not okay. But still,
Well, people feel less bad about sexualizing cartoons.
I know it's awful, because then like little kids will just search
Which is
for their
weird.
show that they
Person
like,
behind it.
and then they'll end up finding some shit they do not need to be seeing. So, I mean, how's everyone mental health? That's kind of what this podcast started as. It's kind of just like our weekly check-in, you know. Make
Did
sure
it?
everybody, kind of in a way, you know. We were playing D&D, and we kind of just like also wanted to do another thing, and like this was it. So it was kind of like, you know, Kurtis, how the fish,
Oh.
you know, what's up with the fish?
You mean the beginning of how this podcast started? I thought
Yeah.
you meant how this
No, not
stream
this
started
one.
tonight, and I was
No.
like, you
Excuse
didn't
me,
say
sir.
shit. But
You never listen to me. Every
Freddie
week.
was talking about peanut butter and jelly.
That's really cool to
But
hear.
You know, that it's
Especially
like,
you don't hear guys talk about mental health a lot.
I feel like it is getting more prevalent though.
It
just
is.
like my students in
It's still just
particular,
nice to hear.
like the high school boys are a lot more interested in like self-care and
I will
not all
say,
of them,
though-
but like a bigger majority from like the last 5 years of me working with students. So it's been really nice to hear.
it's funny. My mom, like growing up, she would ask me. I'd go to a friend's house. I'd hang out there for like 2 days, and I'd come back, and she'd be asking me all these questions about my friend. I'd be like, I don't know any of that shit. Like, I did not know what they were doing in their life at all. Like, oh, are they in football? I was like, I don't know. Like, we played video games for 48 hours. Like, I didn't know. I still don't know what a lot of my friends do for a living. So we'll hang
Yeah.
out for like a day, and I won't know what they do at their job. We won't talk about it. And we leave pretty happy about it, to be honest.
But on the other side of that, that's kind of shitty because
It is.
I'm the same way. But I know that there's friends of mine who don't keep up with me either. But we still call each other friends, and I feel like you can't be friends if you're not keeping up like that, you know.
All right, Curtis. I'll text you
Like,
my
if you
job
gotta be like-
description after this. I'll send you.
Ben,
the-
I know you're an engineer of some sort. All
yeah.
right.
Well, what does that even mean?
Okay, but there's other people who'll be like, yeah, so what you doing again?
I don't want.
And that's where I'm like, how the fuck are we friends and you don't know what the fuck I do?
Actually-
in general, you know what I'm saying?
Kat, what
Well,
do you
what
think?
do you guys do?
No, Kat, what do you think an engineer does? What do you think an engineer is? Like, what does anyone know what an engineer does?
They build robots,
I
obviously.
do.
Obviously, over in Boston, I
You
heard.
work on engines,
Well, it depends on what you specialized in.
chemical.
There's all types. Like, I know there's chemical engineering.
What's that?
types of-
My ex-boyfriend of like a year and a half was a
make
mechanical engineer.
robots.
You make chemical robots.
biochemical engineer.
And then-
Biochemical. Actually, a
And they make
biochemical
biochemical
engineer
robots.
is right now looking into researching and trying to find a cure for endometriosis. And I thought that was really awesome. They've not done
So,
like any research
what
on it at
skin
all.
condition is that?
That is a uterine disease.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's
I
not a
took a
skin
guess.
disease.
I took a guess. Well, fucking sue me.
Oh.
It causes a lot of problems.
I'm
It causes your
podcasting
uterus to
here.
grow outside of the place that it's supposed to.
Yeah, well,
So like they'll
But to shoot
sometimes
Ben
have
some
like,
bail.
horrible periods.
I didn't know what that
Trouble
shit
getting
was either. I
pregnant,
just knew
stuff
it
like
wasn't
that.
with your skin.
how did you know it wasn't skin? How, you wouldn't have guessed uterus.
Because I've heard it before.
You have not.
I wouldn't have guessed uterus, but I damn sure wouldn't have guessed skin, I'll tell you that much.
Whatever.
Well, no, it makes sense because, like, isn't there a skin layer that's the endo
It's
layer?
No, it's the epidermis.
What's your endocrine
Yeah.
system? Like, what's that about?
But
That
aren't there
is
multiple
your-
layers?
But Haley should know. She
Yeah.
made a video about blood
Yes,
pressure
there's
going
10
up
layers
on a
of skin.
Tuesday. I mean, she should know all
Or
this.
is there 7?
We've come full circle.
I guess you'll learn something new every day that you'll forget tomorrow. Okay, I'll end with one more question. Everyone has to answer. Kurtis, I'm going to start with you because you had a week to think about it. What Oompa Loompa song, what verse would you do? You never answered my question.
I did answer it.
Did you? Oh, you told me
I
something
said it was
about...
government overreach.
You said, yeah, you wanted to teach the kids about not
The
listening
kids
to...
about government overreach and how it's a bad thing.
Okay.
Yes.
That's decent enough. Dev, Haley, you got any Oompa Loompa verses that you want the kids to adhere to?
When you say Oompa Loompa verse, are you talking about like a lesson song?
From Willy Wonka,
Yes.
you know, they were talking about if your daughter's
Yeah, I know
a brat,
I know what you're saying, but at
all
first I
that
thought you were asking what my favorite Oompa Loompa verse was.
That would work too.
And I was gonna say,
Is it like a makeup one that an Oompa Loompa would sing, or is it a song that an Oompa Loompa did sing?
It's
It can
whatever
be both,
you
because mine's
want.
about
If I
government
had to pick,
overreach,
mine would
and
be
they didn't
about
sing a song about
consent.
that.
I mean, the whole idea of Willy
Mine
Wonka
would
was
be
to
about
use your
consent.
imagination. Consent, that's a good one. Well, I don't want to know what they did in the factory for you to sing about consent. That's a bit much.
well, consent, it doesn't have to just be sexual, so it could literally be stealing someone's candy.
Like the bubble
Like, hey,
stuff.
if you don't want to come into the candy hut, you don't have to.
He didn't tell them that he was gonna put them through
It's like a 50 Cent song.
emotional spark, like an emotional like event.
I guess okay. Charlie stole the like bubbly drink or whatever, so you could sing to him about consent, I suppose.
My song will have to start with Willy Wonka getting an inflated ego and stealing some of the candy from the kids, and the Oompa Loompas are like, "Hey, don't stand for that shit, yo. Watch this." And then they just start their little song or whatever.
Do they throw him in the
Yeah,
like
that's how it would
chocolate
go.
river or something, or like what's going down?
Nah, they pretty much just snatch the candy back out of his hands and give it to the kids.
Okay, well the podcast is slowly rolling.
Nothing too major.
And Kat said something about a 50 Cent song. She's gonna take him to the candy shop, and yeah, that's about all I got. But
Before you end,
Just like
what's that
your-
painting behind you?
just like going up on a Tuesday
damn
or
it,
blood
stop
pressure
it.
going up on a Tuesday, I'm gonna have to download that before she gets rid of it.
Well, we are coming up on to a Tuesday. It is Monday night.
It is almost here, and for more
I will
insight
play
like
it,
that,
okay?
you can follow their Twitter page, which is Chronic Ass on Twitter, KH for that Chronic Ass.
Yeah.
For that Chronic Ass. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
KH,
to-
that's very important.
We're on Instagram too.
On what?
As Chronic
Same thing?
Ass-Khickers with a KH for
Okay.
both.
Okay.
Yep.
Chronic Ass-Khickers on Instagram, KH on Chronic, and KH on Kickers.
And then just Chronic Ass on Twitter.
It's Chronic Ass.
Bet.
Curtis is EST95 Curtis.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me put Kickers.
He also uses
It was
the
too
K.
many characters.
Ah, those bastards.
They let you put ass.
They let you
No,
put
it was
ass.
just too many characters.
Maybe they thought you were saying.
Yeah, and if you follow me on Twitter, my bio has pretty much every place else I'm at. So
All right.
just follow me
I
on
do
Twitter,
follow
and
you
then
on Twitter.
boom.
You didn't follow me back.
What's your name?
shade.
Because
Oh, damn.
nah, for real, I just retweeted somebody's
Well, my
shit
picture's
because they gave out some knowledge.
So.
See, that might be why.
We're a part of the Skate fan.
My name on there is Skanks Guitarist Deb.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't have followed you back. What is it again?
I was tagged in like the last post. It's at Devin Yup.
Yup.
Oh, I got wait. I got you. And who's? Oh, Hat. That's you. I got you. Okay,
Katiba.
got you. And bet. All right, we good. I figured it out.
Okay, Curtis finally knows who everyone is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play an outro song and drink my cares away. So that's what we're doing.
Oh yeah, we're talking what up, dog. D&D crew. Oh yeah, we're talking what up, dog. D&D crew. Let's see what the UpDawgs getting to. You know, yeah, we're gonna groove. What up, dog? D&D. What up? D&D, baby.
So
You know what's so shitty about that?
What?
The people who give me my fish tank equipment and shit. I told them about the podcast, and they were like, "You should start playing D&D with them. You should get into it." And I'm like,
You should.
Make
yeah,
Monday a good
but
day, baby.
too late now because you just
Yeah.
said you don't play no more.
That's right. Make Monday a good day, baby.